Listen to what Proverbs 21, verse 1 says. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, like the rivers of water. He turns it wherever he wishes. So you ask the question, is President Donald Trump, is he the man that God has appointed for this time? I do believe that he is the man appointed for this time. If he was not, he would not be in office because God is sovereign and God's in control. But people have asked the question, is President Trump, is he a Christian or is he not a Christian? Look, I don't know the spiritual condition of his heart. I do not know. I'm the first to say that there's some things he says I don't agree with. Some language he uses I don't agree with. But I do believe, under the sovereignty of God, that he is the man that God has for this time. As we come into this year, praying for our leadership. That means for the Republicans and also the Democrats, praying for both sides. Praying for all that is happening over the next days and weeks when it comes to Israel, for God's divine protection to happen. And I do believe, based upon what we've seen in the past, that our new administration will be pro-Israel. You recall on May 14, 2018, he moved the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. This was a huge deal. When you look in the scriptures, you will find a correlation of what happened so many years ago and how it relates today. Look at the end of 2 Chronicles. At the very end, verse 22 and 23. And as I'm reading, I want you to think about 2025. Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, ancient name means Iran, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, who was a prophet, might be fulfilled. The Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, king of Iran, so that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom and also put in his writing saying, verse 23, thus says Cyrus, king of Persia. This king is a pagan king. Keep this in mind. All the kingdoms of the earth, the Lord God of heaven has given me, and he has commanded me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Here's a pagan king where the children of Israel have been in exile for 70 years, taken by the Babylonians on 3 exiles, 605 BC, 597 BC, and the third exile in 586 BC when they burnt the temple, destroyed it, conquered Jerusalem, and took the remainder of those, around 1 million Jewish people in Babylon, which is modern-day Iraq. Here's the thing that I want you to be watching for. I'm not a prophet. You got a president now that is pro-Israel. He supports Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And there's a lot of temple talk right now in Israel. They want their temple. And because of the most disputed piece of real estate in the world is the Temple Mount in the city of Jerusalem that I was at back in March of last year and going back to this year. And they believe that this new administration very well could be the very one that gives the green light for the rebuilding of the third temple. And you say, Brian, okay, what does that mean to me? I don't care, okay? But my Bible says in Revelation and also in Daniel that that third rebuilt temple will be the one who will come in for the abomination of desolation in the midpoint of the 7-year time frame known as Jacob's trouble, the tribulation time, who will say, I am God, serve me, and he will come in and he will desecrate the temple, the Antichrist. Now you're saying, Brian, this is all above my head. Listen, I'm telling you, if I'm talking about the shadows of the tribulation that are being cast upon the earth right now, how much closer are we to the rapture of the church? I showed this back in 2017. They made a coin back in 2017 of President Trump when he declared Israel or Jerusalem the capital of Israel. And to commemorate this and his alliance with Israel and his love for the nation of Israel, they made this commemorative coin. On one side, you see President Trump, and beside him, you see King Cyrus. The Jewish people look at President Trump being a King Cyrus. King Cyrus was a pagan king, but King Cyrus, remember, God moves the hearts of those in power. And he gave the decree to rebuild the temple, the second temple. And now President Trump, who's coming into office tomorrow, a lot of talk. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't know. But I do know the temple will be built. But on the backside of that coin, what do you see back there? That is the third temple. My point to all of this is simply this. We are seeing God's handiwork working on the world stage as we speak.